Hello everybody, it is Tuesday, the 9th of November. I've been trying to make this video for a long time now, but there's always more pieces to the puzzle. I tried this morning, I'm just going to put a line under it now to see where I'm at and see if anything comes after that. But at some point you have to put the things together, otherwise it becomes too much. So I want to talk about Jesus. I want to talk about the Sacred Heart and 42, which is of course a reference to The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, the meaning of life, the universe and everything. Right, let's start with Jesus and Christianity. This teaching is so important. Actually, it is important that we see it correctly. At the moment, it is becoming a little bit obsolete because other people are already going in the same direction, looking at it from a different angle, which is like the Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Nassim Haramein, who's the other? Joe Dispenza, all of those. They're all going in that direction toward that knowledge. But why I'm still hanging in this teaching is because it is a tree that grew out of Judaism, and it branched out into Christianity and into Islam. And if you think about the amount of people that are hanging on to this tree, then it is absolutely important that we solve this in order to go forward. As long as people are trapped inside of this teaching, humanity will not go forward. And just to throw it in one corner and to say forget about it is the wrong way, because then you have not learned the lesson that is inside of that teaching. And we must, again, in order to go forward, we must get out of this in order to go forward. We must have it clear in our heads in order to go forward. Right, now, the most important thing is, and what a lot of Christians conveniently forget, Jesus was a Jew. So this teaching is a knowledge that will then serve something, and it is that what it should serve is purely out of the Jewish perspective. How they see themselves inside of creation. How they see life, the universe and everything. And the way they see themselves is, and the way they see life is that life is nothing, that the form, the body, the flesh is nothing, that there is a higher power above themselves that they must serve. And out of that perspective of themselves in this reality comes the entire teaching. So, coming to the Sacred Heart, which this is actually, I hadn't actually realized when I put up the picture, but I'm just looking at it. In this depiction, the Sacred Heart of Jesus is actually bound in thorns, which is truth. That's actually a very good depiction. The Sacred Heart is the knowledge that, I say, the others are going toward now, and that is how you interact with the not form. You are created out of the not form, haven't taken form, but you are reacting with that which still has not taken form yet, but which wants to give. So the Sacred Heart is the place where two come together, the thought and the emotion. And it is there that you create an energy that will interact with that which has not been created yet. And that is the part of the teaching in the New Testament that is so important, because that is the truth about ourselves, about our mind and our body and our emotions, and what they should work, what they can work. So that is the part of the teaching that is the truth. That was the knowledge of himself, the Jesus, the knowledge of himself. It's the knowledge of all of us. That is our truth. But then, of course, the next question is, what do you do with that truth? You can work something, it should serve something. You could work something with it. What do you do? And this is, and there's another thing that people hear what they want to hear. In fact, in order to follow an intention, you have to focus. Yeah, you have to narrow down. In order to go to the cross, you need to really get rid of the thought that he was a Jew. And the other thing is that Christians hail him as a Prince of Peace, conveniently not hearing that he actually said, I do not bring peace, but a two-edged sword. I will create division. He said that. And there's a two-edged sword, and there's the two masters. What do you do with that knowledge? What should it serve? In the mind of Jesus, being a Jew, and their perception of themselves in creation, that knowledge must serve the heavens, something higher up, something spiritual. So, and that is then the Father in heaven. In order to do so, the flesh must die. So you take yourself to the cross. The other way of looking at it, the knowledge should serve life, in which case it serves the forms. There's the other master. Take that knowledge to serve the forms. There is the choice that he gave you. He actually gave you a choice. And that choice is not being taught. And most Christians don't see that they have a choice. And that is where the dogma of the church. It's not the teaching that is at fault. It clearly says so. It is the dogma of the church that will lead you just one way and will not let you see the other. Right. Now we come to 42. Life, the universe, and everything. And that is meaning. What is the meaning of? And for the longest part, I thought it was a joke. Actually, I only found out yesterday that it's not. My daughter told me. I thought, well, trust the computer. What do you do? Asking about the meaning of life and ask a computer, what does a computer know? It would come up with something like 42. Well, apparently, there was computer language created in the 50s and 60s, which I've forgotten the name of again. But in that language, the number 42 has got a meaning. And the meaning is whatever you want it to be. The meaning of life, the universe, and everything is whatever you want it to be. You are the creator of your own meaning. Now this world has a meaning. Or it derives its meaningfulness, its purpose from creating forms. It gives a form to you and to everything else. That is its purpose, and that is its meaning. From that it derives its meaning. And it sustains the forms. So that is what gives meaning to this world. Inside of this world, you must create your own meaning. That's the thing. We're waiting for something to give us meaning. And this again is the teaching in the Old Testament and in Jesus. Jesus was given a meaning from somewhere else. The meaning is you must give the knowledge to us. Whereas if you serve life, life itself is the meaning of your meaning, so to speak. Now, how do you create meaning in your own life? Through an intention. Well, that is one way. I don't know if there's other ways, but through an intention you can definitely create meaning in your life. Now, again, there's a tricky thing with this. And that is again what is happening to the Jews over and over and over again. And that is, the intention should serve you. It should serve life, if you go that way. It should serve life. If it only serves your life, small intention, but it is an intention, the more it serves others, the greater the intention, and the more it serves others, the less your intention is in conflict with others, so you can live in peace. Now, the story of the Sinai is the story of an intention. It is the story of a thought that should have guided them to that intention, but that thought should have served them. And they are, and that is out of the Jewish perspective, that they are nothing. So they are forever becoming slaves to the intention. That is to say, the intention no longer serves them, but they serve it. They are becoming slave to the intention, and Jesus, in the case of Jesus, to the death. And again, I think we're going past the point. We're definitely going past the point of this earth, the meaning of this earth, which is to create form and life. So if you serve an intention that will destroy life, it is not of this earth. Again, choose your master. So, and then the last thing that was thrown into this cauldron is David Icke. Since we're at it, let's throw him in as well. Saying we are on this really narrow band of frequency. Yeah? A narrow frequency serves a purpose. It is creating order out of chaos. And at the moment, we are quite literally broadband. We are in this internet, we're broadband. That is everything all of the time, internet song. Yeah, I can give you everything all of the time. Which is good if you are still searching. But first of all, you must narrow down your search. An intention narrows down the search, because then you only take the information that will serve the intention. That is what the great and the mighty are doing. That is exactly what they're doing. That is what Jesus said. He didn't say the way to salvation is broadband. He said narrow is the way. So you must narrow it down to an intention. What serves the intention? tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. And by that you create order out of chaos. That is what the narrowband does. It creates order out of chaos. But then again, be very sure that your intention actually serves you. And if you have intention that takes you to the cross, that is to mean you have to put so much work into it. You have to correct yourself in such a way because you're basically not suited to the intention to start with. But you're making yourself. That is the way to the cross. Again, we are all different. We can all serve different intentions. We have natural abilities that will serve us and serve an intention. The more the intention is naturally to what you are, the less it will take you to the cross. So, this entire world, and this is again why I am not getting out of this teaching, because if you think, again, let's go back to the beginning. If you think how many people are hanging in this tree, yeah, that they're created by something, by another form, that they must serve that form, that form will give to them, that they have to model themselves in some way. I mean, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and any other little offshoot that is still Mormons, for instance. The amount of people that are working from that perspective is creating this world. Because we are creating this world. It is our heart desire that is even now creating this world. Out of the wrong perception of ourselves. In order to change this world, we need a new story. That is not to throw out the old story altogether, because the truth is in there. The truth of how this works is in there. But we need a new perception of ourselves to work that truth correctly. And we are what we are. The world is there. The meaning of the world is to create the form. The meaning of the form is to give meaning to itself. You create your own meaning. And what the thought is inside of yourself will create what is outside of yourself. That is how we create reality. So then one last thought, and that is, if I, myself, my perspective, the way to the cross is wrong. Yeah? The knowledge was given to sustain life. We sustain life by learning more about ourselves and those around us and nature. The more we learn about that, the more we understand the whole, the more it will sustain our lives. And that should be our desire. That desire should bring knowledge to us. That is where we create the narrow focus and only take information that will serve that, which is a lot of information. And it will sustain our lives, and it will give us knowledge of that which creates the forms, which in the end should make us creators. Creators of forms that can be sustained. But, as I said, you should reject an intention that takes away life. Now, and you should not go to the cross, right? That's the way. You should not go to the cross. Now, the question is, if you don't want that for yourself, should you ask it of the world? The meaning of the word is to create forms and sustain these forms. But if, in the effort of sustaining the forms, the world is taking itself to the cross, if you think that wrong for yourself, should you then ask it of the world? Or should the world at some point say, okay, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And if the damn thing won't drink, I'm not going to kill myself making it. And you see, there's the thing. Will the world at one point spew us out? Basically to save itself. And has it got a right to do so? I would say it has. It is time we woke up. To save ourselves. The world has been trying to save us, but if we won't listen, maybe it will stop at some point. Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that for today. I've thrown just about everything in the cauldron now that I could think of over the last few weeks. And I leave it at this for a while because I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, but the periods of stillness in between are actually most important. I have been over the last few years spewing it out and spewing it out and spewing it out, and I did not have enough periods of, I've been spewing out pieces without enough periods of stillness to put those pieces actually into a coherent story. And those periods are just as important as the pieces themselves. Anyway, I probably will talk to you again at some point, and I'll see you then. Bye.